G'day from the Bureau, David here with an update on severe weather forecasts across parts of southeastern Australia over the next few days. It's going to be a wet and windy few days across the southeast. This system is not quite as strong as the one we saw at the start of last week, but there's still a couple of things to keep in mind, particularly the possibility of riverine flooding across northern Victoria and northern Tasmania following those recent rains. Also, the possibility of wind damage to property and trees, with a windy day expected across Victoria on Wednesday. And difficult driving conditions, again mainly across Victoria during Wednesday, with that combination of wet and windy weather on Wednesday. Let's take a look at the winds at first. So we've got a severe weather warning current here in the yellow area. It extends almost to Ballarat, right through the central ranges of Victoria, down through Melbourne, including the city and the northern suburbs, and then through parts of the Mornington and Bellarine peninsulas there as well on the other side of Port Phillip Bay. So conditions there expected to reach around 60 to 70 km/h winds from the north during tomorrow, with peak gusts up to 90 km/h. We're expecting the winds to peak through Melbourne in the late morning before easing in the afternoon, but it will broadly be a windy day right across western and central Victoria at first, and parts of eastern Victoria later as well. In terms of the flood situation, we've actually got a few flood warnings still current from the rain last week. So those are in green here: the Kiwi River, the Goulburn River, the Avoca and the Loddon Rivers in northern Victoria. And these catchments right across northern and northeastern Victoria, and the catchments through northwestern Tasmania here, are all quite wet from repeated winter rains over the last few months. So those catchments in these areas, they're wet and they're ready to respond quickly to any rain that falls over the next few days. So there's the current flood warnings. We could see further flood warnings issued over the next few days as that rain starts to fall in those wet catchments. So what does the broader picture look like? Well, we've got this cloud band extending down here from central Australia. That's pulling in moisture from the tropical Indian Ocean. And through Tuesday, it's linking up with this trough system here in the Bight. As the system moves east during Wednesday, it brings widespread rain to eastern South Australia, western New South Wales, much of Victoria and northern Tasmania as well. So plenty of rain right across southeastern Australia. That then clears out on Thursday. We then see this follow-up trough reach Tasmania and bring further showers later on Thursday. And then into Friday, we'll see a high-pressure system move in from the west, and that'll settle things down ahead of the weekend across the southeast. So in terms of accumulated rainfall, over the next few days, large parts of those areas of southeastern Australia are likely to see 10 to 30 millimetres of rainfall. That corresponds to the yellow and the orange colours on this map. And then higher totals about those wet catchments. So northeastern Victoria, 30 to 40 millimetres possible, mainly on Wednesday and a little into Thursday. And northwestern Tasmania here in the magenta colours could see 40 to 60 millimetres of rain. And again, those catchments are quite wet, so the rivers and creeks in those areas will respond quickly to rainfall and will start to rise quickly. So if you live in these parts of southeastern Australia, or if you know someone who does, now is the time to be across the latest warnings and forecasts at our website, our app and on our social media channels. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.